5 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon, August 6th, 2024, and I call this regular meeting of the Beltrami County Board of Commissioners to order. Please rise for the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I have no comments as board chair, and I don't see any citizens wishing to address the board, so can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Mr. Chair, I'd make a motion we approve the agenda with the following change. Remove item 9 from the regular agenda to item 7G on the consent agenda. That is the County State Aid Highway 11 speed study that we spoke about in the work session, and had to make the motion to approve it as presented there.
Is there a second? Second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda as amended? So moved. Is there a second? Second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Moving on to the regular agenda. We have the Airport Joint Powers Agreement Resolution.
Mr. Chair, I'd make a motion that we approve the Airport Joint Powers Agreement Resolution.
Is there a second? I second it. Motion's made and seconded. Now we'll have a discussion. Who wants to go first? Seeing no discussion, call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No. Motion passes. Any additional items anybody wants to talk about? All right, seeing none. The next board meeting, next work session will be August 20th at 3 p.m. and then followed by the 5 o'clock board meeting.
Commissioner reports.
Yeah, we can do that right after I do this.
Okay.
And then,
Mhm.
and Joe, you've got chat about on August 20th. All right, sounds good. How about commissioner reports? Joe, you want to start?
Sure. Since our last meeting, I attended a Northwest Juvenile Center board meeting. My first one there with Commissioner Anderson, and productive meeting, went well. We approved the annual budget. I was at a KRLS Library Systems regular meeting. Attended the Watermark Art Festival in town. That was well attended, and a lot of sales from vendors. That was good. Joint Counties Natural Resource Board meeting met. Also attended a Minnesota Rural Counties Committee meeting. BICAP, there was a conference in Duluth I attended for BICAP. And we have a meeting coming up on Thursday in Walker. And then this morning there was a Housing Trust Fund Cabinet meeting. And we made some really good, important progress as a working group there. We should be advertising to developers soon and hopefully getting some applications in within the next couple months to look at different development projects. So it was a good meeting. People left in positive spirits, and so made some good progress there today.
Awesome. Greg?
I'll just skip the biggest news. We had a Cass Lake quarterly meeting for the Cass Lake Rural Fire Association, and we were able to procure, I should say, Robert Jaspers, our fire chief, was able to procure another $125,000. He got this grant from the Blandon Foundation, so I really appreciate that, and making our what do you call it, the thermometer for raising funds notched up a little higher. That's it for this meeting. Thank you.
Richard? I'm good, thanks. Tim?
Mr. Chair, just want to acknowledge the emergency management team for their quick response, to the flooding up in the Fort Town area. It was good to see that, they collaborated well with the highway department and ensured that, the roads, in the area were stabilized and taken care of. Along with the recent storms here in Bemidji, it looked like Bemidji State Park, the park, took a beating. So, I think, our staff and the emergency management sheriff's office, do a good job when it comes to, responding to disasters or unfortunate things like that. Which leads me into, I know it seems like it's been quite some time, but the situation that happened with our IT, and things that went down there, I think our MIS and dispatch, did a great job in alerting, us on the situation there. When I first opened that email, I was thinking, oh, were we hacked? And so I think they did a good job on working through that situation. So I just want to commend everybody that was involved. I think, we're lucky here at Beltrami County, our staff here is second to none. So I want to acknowledge them and appreciate their work. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right. On that same vein, I want to give a shout out to Chris Muller. He did a great job of being on top of all of that over the weekend. And I know personally, and I don't know if it's because I was board chair, but I got a number of emails from Chris standing by in case we need to declare emergencies. And so I would just shout out to Chris for being on top of that. He did a great job. Shout out to Diane and to the HR team for the staff appreciation event, because I know you guys put a lot of work into that. Thank you very much. I think it was kind of fun having the it wasn't a taco bowl, burrito bowls. And I think if we did that again, we'd probably do that a little bit differently so we can move people a little faster. But I think it was all in all, it was a good event, and so I had a good time there. I had a jail design and operations committee meeting. And everything's on course for getting the request for qualifications out. So what happens is they have to make sure that any of the people that are going to bid on this are qualified to bid, that they can handle the scope of work. So they're putting that together, and so we work on working on that, and that should be going out, I believe, either next week or the week after. I think all of you probably, we already heard about this when we had the joint city and county meeting, that on the timeline that we've already submitted to the city, the plans to get approved. And I think they're off to the state now. So that's good. We had an airport committee meeting, but we didn't have a whole lot going on there. And then I had our Prime Health meeting, which is, Prime Health is different than the Prime West. The Prime West does the work with the Health and Human Services for folks that need those services. But Prime Health is the one that we use for our health insurance group for the county employees. And so that meets only about quarterly, and Richard and I both attended that. And the good news is they're able to keep that increase down to like 3% again this year. So they've been doing a great job of keeping it nice and steady instead of these big peaks and valleys that the county used to go through. Looking at the chart that they had, it was amazing how when they had like Blue Cross or whatever, one year it'd be 15% increase, and then they'd be down to 1% increase, so all over the board. So Prime Health is doing a good job of making sure that they're committed to keeping a nice level. So maybe some year they might make more money than the next year, but they're just keeping it level. So that's good.
Okay, can I?
Yeah, Richard, go ahead.
Just one thing with that, your last statement. Sometimes they make money. Well, when they make money, what they do with it is they take their cut for the administrative that they need. But then the excess, it comes back to the various counties to help out with, say, building a new building for whatever it might be, health related.
Well, and I know that a big commitment was made to the battered women's shelter.
Absolutely.
It was that was part of it. So that was.
Yeah. So that was, I just wanted to bring.
In fact, we got a little ration of grief from our fellow commissioners that why did Beltrami County get so much?
Yeah. Because we worked at it. Right?
If we worked at it, yeah. All right, that's all I have. Any?
Chair?
Yeah.
Is there budget committee meetings lately?
Oh, you want to report? Maybe you want to report on that?
Yeah, I could. Yeah, we actually concluded our budget committee meetings last week. The Monday and Tuesday were the 2 days that we did all the departments, and so very challenging this year, like it has been for other years too. But this year is it's going to be higher than normal with all all the different factors that we've had, one of which was a significant reduction in funding for health and human services from the state, due to our not realizing or not factoring it into the budget or whatever, that the state caught up to the fact that we don't have the number of youngsters that we transferred with the Red Lake Initiative that we did. And so now that we don't have that roughly 600 kids as part of our allocation for the 4E program, they reduced our funding by well over $1 million. So the Health and Human Services, Ann and her team are doing some significant soul searching and budget cutting to help make up for that huge shortfall. And so that, along with our cost and comp study and the additional costs involved with that, and just inflation in different departments, it's higher than what I would like, but there's only so much that we can cut to, and so we're gonna present it as what we've come up with and see what y'all think.
When will that probably come up?
I'm not 100% sure. I'll get maybe the next meeting or not till September.
Gotta be the next meeting or the first meeting in September.
It has to be tentatively approved by the 30th of September. So it has to be one of the next two meetings. Yep.
Cuts to any other departments or areas,
Not
last year's budget?
Yeah, I don't think so. We did have a situation where it looked to be more cost effective in the law enforcement department to actually add 4 positions so that we could get, we either pay for out of county housing for inmates, or we pay for staffing, and the money that we can save in out of county housing was more than what we would pay for the staffing if we can find people to hire. That looks a little counterintuitive, but that's the reason behind it, why we would be adding staff there.
But that was because they allowed us to increase our number of inmates, correct?
Right, but if we, don't have the staffing for it, then we can't house those inmates, and so, we got to pay one or the other, and this is the less expensive way to do it.
Okay.
So, yeah, lots of really good work by our department heads and by Tom and the whole crew. But it's more of an increase than normal. Okay, it is the first one in September. Okay.
Thanks for asking that, Joe.
Yep. Yeah, look very good.
Anything else? That I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Second?
Second.
We're adjourned.